Yeah, hi. Good afternoon. So yes, the Red Sea concerns are there, and that is why we have seen the financials which they have posted in the quarter gone by. That is the quarter three of FY23. So we have seen some sort of decline as compared to last year's profit. So that is also one of the reasons that the company's financial performance has been seen impacted due to that. But in the longer run, I think due to this arrangement, definitely it gonna benefit to the shareholders, and in the long run, definitely the stock is a worth holding. So our stance here is that hold the stock, although some sort of we can see a damp in the stock prices, and that will be a temporary. But in the longer run, it will gonna generate returns to the investors. So our stance here is the hold, and the price target which we are setting right now for this counter is 250 at the current levels.
All right, understood. Let's quickly dive into the questions now. The first one's coming from the line of this one's on JNK Bank, and the name of the person is Nirmit. So, Nirmit, thanks for writing in. We're taking your question. JNK Bank share, they've already bought in the stock at 125 per share. Now, Nilesh, they want to know if they should book profits. If we can pull up the chart, yeah, 141 rupees, and so that's slightly higher than the buying price. Would you should suggest maybe booking 50% of the profits and keeping at it, or should you hold on to it fully?
So, Smriti, absolutely, it's advisable to keep booking profit at the high level because the kind of run-up that we have seen in last few months now, specifically in the mid and small cap stocks like JNK Bank, Bank India, and majority of the PSE banking space, I think given this kind of run-up, it is prudent to keep booking profit, especially book half a profit at current level. And for remaining position, keep a trading stop loss. I still feel there will be a further, upside that might continue towards 150 to 155 on immediate basis. But for that, keep a trailing stop loss below 131, and for remaining position, I think one can stay put.
All right, understood. Next up, we have a question from Siddharth, and they're talking about BPCL. They've bought the share at 473 levels. It's considerably higher from that price. Now, they want to know if they should continue holding on to it or book profits. This is for the longer term. Astha oil, we've seen a lot of volatility, and we'll probably see it going further as well. What would you suggest a person holding BPCL to do about it?
Since the profits are huge, so my idea is book some profit as of now. Although we have seen the results, but there was one issue that we have seen the lower marketing margins, and that is somewhat is concerning because in the case of rise in the crude oil prices, that will directly impact the margins. So, but all in all, since the profits are high at present point of a time, so I think it's better to book partial profit. So our stance here is that book partial profit and hold the remaining counter for the price target of 680 to 690 in the short to medium term.
All right, understood. Next up, we're talking about Vedanta. Now, this one's from this is Rajesh Sekran from Dubai, and they have already bought the stock at 280 levels. They want to know if they should continue holding on to it. Nilesh, let's take a technical check on this one. Vedanta, how does it look from a technical standpoint?
See, Smriti, on immediate basis, it looks like it is in a consolidation zone where the immediate support is placed at somewhere around 260 and resistance is somewhere around 285. So that's the range as of now. But looking at the recent development from last couple of weeks now, the stock has started forming a high top and high bottom formation. So from next, 1 to 2 months point of view, I feel that the stock might move towards 300 kind of levels. So yes, at current level, one can stay put, keeping stop loss below 258, and there could be possibility of a pullback from the current levels.
All right, understood. Next up, we're talking about HDFC Life and Praj Industries. This one's from Geeta Iyer. They want to know if this is the right time to enter these two stocks, and this is for the longer term. Astha, HDFC Life and Praj Industries, what's the view fundamentally? How does it look?
So talking about HDFC Life, I think fundamentals are looking intact for this counter. And what we feel that if one can enter at lower dip of around 550 or 560, then it will be a better, levels to enter in. Although if we talk about this stock, though, valuations are looking quite reasonable over here, so we are not very much concerned about the valuation, and whatever performance the stock has posted, I think there is a strong growth in their business also. So I think all in all, it is a better stock to enter, but at the lower levels, not right now. 550 is the suggested level at which one can enter the stock for the price target of 620 to 640 at the initial levels.
All right, understood. Next up, we have a question on HDFC Bank, and this is a common question now, Astha. Srinu from Vijayawada has written to us, and they want to know if they should enter now HDFC Bank, and we've seen such low levels on this particular stock. What's the long-term view on this one? It's a big bank, strong fundamentals there. Would you suggest buying or entering the stock right now?
I think at the lower levels, buying can be done because whatever we have seen, I think now the gradual recovery can be seen going ahead. We have seen a strong turmoil in the stock prices already. So I think it's better to wait for some more fall, let the stock settle, because long term seems to be intact, although we have seen after the result declaration, the stock was in a one side southward direction. But in the long term, we can see the gradual recovery because the kind of ratios this bank is posting still, especially if I talk about their asset quality, it is still at a very attractive levels, their GNP and NNPA ratios as compared to the other banks in the same industry. So I think the recovery will be gradual, will be slower, but here the stances enter into the stock, but not at the present level. Maybe 1350 or 1370 are the right levels to enter into the stock for the longer term point of view.
Okay, got it. Next up, we have a question from Mayank Shah. They're talking about Jio Finance. They've already bought in the shares at 275 levels. Now, this is a recent listing, so I'll probably take a longer term view on this as well. Jio Finance, we're yet to see how this kind of pans out or what the play is there. Now, Astha, Jio Finance, what's the longer term perspective on this one? Should you continue holding on to this?
Although whatever the results they have posted that were not on the, they were not up to the mark, and we have seen some sort of a disappointment in the results in the Jio Finance of their Q3 of FY24. This is, I'm talking about those numbers. So the results were not very much attractive. So my idea is here that wait for some more time, let the stock prove its strength, and then one can enter into the stock. So I think rather than jumping into the stock right now, it's better to wait for some more time to see how the financials will perform going ahead. Although the Q3 was not up to the mark, but let's see how the Q4 will be, and then make an entry into the stock.
Got it. Next up, we're talking about Mishtan Foods. This comes from Arpit from Meerut. They've already bought the stock at 23 levels, and I think the stock is currently trading around the same levels. Nilesh, what should you do? Should you continue holding on to it? It's if you look at the 1 year performance of the stock, it's a multi-bagger.
Absolutely, Smriti. It's a PSE listed counter, and looking at the performance of past 1 year, the counter is constantly forming a high top and high bottom formation. So undertone is looking very strong, and recently when we saw a breakout, so the volume participation was unusual and it was huge. So looking at that kind of run up with a huge price and volume breakout, I think this particular counter has a potential to move towards 26 to 30 kind of levels in the short to medium term point of view. So if somebody is already holding the long position, can keep a trailing stop loss below 21 and hold on to this particular long position for the upside target of 26, and position target comes around 30 plus.
Got it. Next up, we're talking about IQ Lighting. Is it a good time to enter the stock? Is the question. This one's from Narveer from Hyderabad. Is this a part of your coverage, Astha? IQ Lighting?
I'm sorry, we don't cover the stock, although it was a IPO stock way back in June. I think this company came out with the IPO, but afterwards we didn't cover it. So I'm sorry, I can't comment on it.
Nilesh, now this is, I know there won't be a lot of data, but from whatever you have, would you suggest buying into this or entering this stock?
So I have a limited data, but whatever data I have is clearly indicating the counter post listing as constantly is in a downtrend and forming a lower top and lower bottom formation. It has never surpassed its previous lower highs. So looking at the structure, the previous high was somewhere around 340. There could be possibility of a pullback from current level. So purely from a trading point of view, one can go long keeping stop loss below 280 since the risk and reward is very much favorable. So purely from trading point of view, one can go long for the further upside move to continue towards 320 to 330. But for call it as a major bottom or short-term base formation, the stock needs to surpass 340 levels on the upside. the major trend still is on the lower side. So I would suggest don't take it for a longer term unless and until it takes out 340 levels.
Okay, fair point, Nilesh. Unfortunately, we're completely out of time on this edition of Ask Profit. Thank you so much, Nilesh and Astha, for joining in and for answering so many questions for us. And viewers, if we couldn't take your questions today, we'll definitely take them tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. But until then, we have lots more coming up on NDTV Profit, so stay tuned.